To start today with a little bit of a meditation. So bringing our hands together in Anjali Mudra, lowering our chin to our chest, beginning to draw our attention to our breath, noticing our inhalations versus our exhalations, and really taking a moment to set an intention, or even better, an affirmation. The world is crazy around us right now, so just taking this moment to say, I am enough, I am okay, I am safe, it is okay to feel how I'm feeling, and just breathing. And then setting our hands on our knees. We're going to inhale the arms up and exhale, twisting to our right hand on the left knee, left hand behind us. Sorry, left hand on the right knee. Inhaling tall, exhale, twisting from the waist. Keeping our breath deep and even, breathing in through the nose, exhaling through the nose, using our Ujjayi breath. And then releasing, inhaling to center, fingertips towards the ceiling. Exhale to the opposite side, right hand on left knee, left hand behind this time. Inhale, tall spine. Exhale, twisting from the waist, not from our shoulders. Breathing all the way into our belly. Inhaling the arms to center, exhaling the hands down. Now we're going to switch the cross on our legs. So taking the leg that's in front, placing it in back, and then we're going to do that again. So finding our seat, inhaling the arms up, exhale, twisting to the right, left hand on right knee. Inhale tall, taking our gaze slightly behind us, but not too far. You don't want to hurt your neck. Inhaling the arms to center. Exhale, twisting to the opposite side. Inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, twisting. And then really taking this moment to scan over your body, noticing any stiffness or soreness. I'm sure we've been sitting a lot more than we're used to. So using these stretches to open up the back, find some length in the spine. Inhaling the arms up, keeping the fingers active. Exhale, pressing the palms down. Inhaling the arms up. Exhale, bringing the hands to the mat in front of you. And we're going to walk the hands out, bringing our forehead towards the mat. If that is too much, you're welcome to just place your hands on the mat and then lean your head forward. We don't really want to lift the sitting bones off the mat. We're just trying to find that stretch in our lower back. Switching the cross on our legs again. Inhaling the arms up. Exhale, place the hands on the mat, either walking your arms out all the way in front of you, forehead on the mat, or just placing them gently in front of you, finding the stretch in the lower back. Continuing to breathe even though we're forward, breathing into the belly, and then releasing, inhaling up, coming on to our hands and our knees, and making our way into a tabletop. So placing the knees underneath our hips, hands underneath our shoulders, and inhale, finding a nice neutral spine, and then inhale, dropping the belly, raising the gaze, coming into cow. Exhale, curling the spine, pressing into your palms and your knees into cat pose. Inhaling into cow, and exhaling up and back into cat. Inhaling, really over-exaggerating, getting your shoulder blades on your back. And exhaling, finding some space between those shoulder blades. And we're still just waking our spine up, going slow. We're not rushing this. Really just taking the time, taking a moment for ourselves. And coming back to our neutral spine, we're going to bring the big toes together to touch, opening the legs, press back, child's pose. Or actually, I'm doing a more traditional child's pose, with my knees touching my hands behind me. From here, we're going to do a small sequence where we go into locust. But for now, right now, we're just in child's pose. Really listening to our breath and listening to our body. And then inhale, walking the arms out in front of us, sliding forward. We're going to lower down onto our belly, releasing the toes behind us. And we're going to do a locust modified. If you want to do full locust, you're welcome to, but I'm going to inhale my arms behind me, lifting the chest up off the mat and lifting my toes in a Superman pose. So really kicking into those toes and holding the hands behind you. Trying to see if you can get your chest up off the mat even just a little bit more. Using all of those back muscles, keeping the legs engaged. Exhale, releasing the legs, pressing into our palms, going all the way back and finding child's pose. Now, if you prefer a wide leg child's pose, if that's more comfortable for you, you're welcome to do that as well. And coming back forward, lowering down onto our belly. This time we're going to walk our hands onto our lower back, interlacing the fingers. Inhale, straightening the arms, and then lifting the legs up. I find this helps me get a little more lift in the front. So pressing into our hip bones, legs active, toes pointing, hands pulling away from our shoulders, really opening up the front of our chest, keeping our neck neutral, our gaze soft. And then exhale, releasing, curling the toes, pressing into our palms, pressing up and back, all the way into child's pose. Reaching our arms out in front of us. Keeping our arms active for just a moment and then resting the elbows and the front forearms on the mat. And inhale, coming back up to our tabletop. Knees underneath our hips. Toenails pressing into the mat. We're going to go into puppy here. So downward facing dog on your tabletop legs. Just keeping those hips above your knees. We're going to walk the hands out in front of us. And then bringing our forehead onto the mat. This is a back bend. So a heart opener, we're opening up the front of the chest, we're stretching out the back. If this is too much on you, just come back into tabletop. That is completely fine. We just want to try to find some ways to bend the body the opposite direction than we're using now. So opening up that chest, straightening the back for posture and because we're on our sofa so much. Press back, child's pose. Walking the hands out, curl the toes under, up and back, downward facing dog for just a breath. And then bending the knees, walking our feet up to the front of the mat. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Inhale the arms all the way up. Exhale, mountain pose. So we're going to do a sun salutation A with runner's lunge. And knees, chest, and chin. A nice gentle way to do this. Hands at our side. Inhaling. And exhale, pressing into the heels, finding the balance on our feet. Hands at our side. Inhale the arms up, gaze towards the ceiling, taking a little back bend, or not. Exhale, forward fold, hands down, Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, place your hands down, stepping that right foot back, coming into a runner's lunge. So left knee over left ankle, right toes pushing it to the ground. And then release, step back, plank pose. And from here, we're going to lower down, coming onto our knees, our chest, and our chin. And then inhale, sliding the heart forward, coming into a cobra pose. Hands are underneath our shoulders, elbows are tucked in at our side. Curl the toes under, pressing up and back, downward facing dog. Pedaling the legs for a moment, just finding some length in the back of our legs. Maybe your heels touch the ground, maybe they don't. Doesn't matter. Just feeling it out. Inhale, bringing the right foot forward, coming into runner's lunge on the opposite side. And then stepping that left foot forward to meet the right. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back. Inhaling all the way up, taking our back bend, releasing our hands to our chest. Sun Salutation 2. Inhaling the arms up, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, halfway. Exhale, hands down, stepping that right foot back, finding our runner's lunge. And this time we're going to add a twist. So once you get into your runner's lunge, placing that right hand down on the mat, and then inhale the left arm up, coming into a twist. Or not. If this is too much, just stay in runner's lunge for an extra moment. Exhale, releasing the hand. Step back, plank pose. Coming down into our knees, our chest, and our chin. Elbows tucked into the side, and then releasing the toes. Inhale the heart up, cobra. Just really taking our time. Curl the toes under, pressing up and back, downward facing dog. Bend the knees, stepping that right foot forward. Runner's lunge, opposite side. Planting the left hand on the mat, inhale our right arm up, coming into a twist. Taking our gaze towards the ceiling, or if that's too hard on your neck, you're welcome to keep your gaze down towards the mat. It's your choice. Release the hands, step that back foot forward, forward fold. Inhaling the arms up our legs, coming into halfway lift. Then all the way up into Tadasana. Now we're going to do Sun Salutation A without runner's lunges. Exhaling forward. Inhale, flat back, halfway. Exhale, hands down, step back, plank. From here, lowering down, knees, chest, chin. Inhale the heart forward to cobra. Exhale, curl the toes under, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale up to the toes, exhale, bend your knees, step or walk to the front of the mat. Inhale, flat back, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale the arms out all the way up, taking a little bit of a back bend if you want or not. Exhale, mountain pose. And we'll do that again. Inhaling the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, halfway. Exhale, hands down, step back, plank. Bending the elbows, I'm doing chaturanga, but knees, chest, chin, or a half is fine. Inhale all the way up dog, or take cobra again. Listen to your body. Exhale back, downward facing dog. I want to give you some variety. You choose. Choose your own yogi adventure. And then really finding some length in that down dog. Breathing in deeply all the way to our belly. Exhaling all the way out. Inhaling up to the toes. Exhale, bend your knees. Step or walk all the way up to the front of the mat. Inhale, flat back halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhaling the arms down. We're going to make our way into ragdoll. So just gently rocking from side to side. Maybe you hook your hands behind your elbows. Just really keeping those legs straight, but allowing our back to waterfall forward. Our head towards the ground. Maybe we shake our head yes and no. And then on our next inhalation, slowly raising up one vertebra at a time, making our way all the way into a standing pose. Rolling the shoulder blades onto our back, our head the last thing coming up. Rolling our head from one side and the other. And just finding a nice mountain pose. Circling our wrists, wiggling our fingers. From here, we're going to go into a tree pose for finding a balance. I like to come off the mat. I find that it's too springy for me. So coming on to our right foot, we're going to engage our core, lifting the opposite leg up, taking the sole of the foot and placing against our calf, our ankle, or all the way up into our thigh. Hands together at our heart. And then inhaling the hands all the way up and pressing our palms together, taking a more traditional tree pose. But as I like to say in class, there are so many different types of trees. If this is not your tree, that is fine. It gives us a big, beautiful forest of different things to look at. Keeping our gaze soft, not really looking at the video, finding a spot on the floor or drishti. Exhale, releasing the hands down to our chest, releasing that knee, setting the foot down, shaking out the legs, switching sides. Inhaling the opposite knee up, placing it on your ankle, your calf, or all the way up into your thigh. Bringing our hands together at our heart. And then when you're ready, inhale, growing your tree. And once again, I'm doing a more traditional, but you're welcome to have your arms in cactus arms, or even on something to help with your balance. Breathing in deeply, keeping the core engaged, keeping our lower back safe. Exhaling the hands down to our heart, releasing the foot, wiggling out the legs, making our way back onto our mat. Coming into a wide leg stance, so our ankles should be just below our wrists. We're going to turn our left toes out, back foot staying the same way, making our way to warrior two. Inhaling the arms parallel with the ground. Exhale, bend that front knee. Your knee should be over your ankle, taking our gaze all the way down our front arm, keeping our arms parallel. So even though we're looking forward, that back arm is not drooping down. Take a glance back to make sure. And breathe with each inhalation, feeling your spine growing longer, and each exhalation is sinking in a little bit more. Using those leg muscles, scissoring the legs together so that we're not sinking into the joints. Inhaling, straightening that front leg, hinging forward, making our way into a triangle pose. Now, if you have a block or a book nearby, you're welcome to take it and set it by your front leg, lowering that left hand onto the block and our right arm all the way up. Taking our gaze towards the ceiling, but just like before, if this is too much on your neck, So feel free to look down at the mat. Continuing to breathe. Inhaling the arms up. Walking that back foot in. We're going to stay into two different lanes. You can kind of see that with the block in between. We're making our way into a pyramid pose. I'm bringing in a second block. We're going to take these blocks and place them on either side of that front foot. This brings the floor up to you more. Centering our hips over that front leg. We're going to inhale, nice long spine. Exhale, folding over that leg. Or you don't want to place your hands on the ground, place them on the blocks, keeping our spine nice and long. Exhale, bend the elbows. Not out to the side, but back towards you. Keeping that left hip in line with that right. So even though the left leg is forward, we're not bringing our hip forward. And then hands on our hips, inhaling up tall, grabbing onto our blocks, making our way back into our wide-legged stance, turning the opposite toes out. We're going to do warrior two on the other side. So inhaling the arms parallel, turning the right toes out, keeping the left toes parallel with the back of the mat. Inhale tall, exhale, bend that knee, warrior two opposite side. Checking your arms, engaging your core, keeping our tailbone tucked slightly. So we have a nice line from our tailbone all the way up to the crown of our head. Arms active, so even though we're using our legs a lot here and engaging our core, our arms are still active. They're still working. And then inhale, straightening that front leg, hinging at the hips, right hand down, left hand up. Triangle pose, opposite side. Feel free to grab a block, placing it on which level works for you. Taking our gaze towards the ceiling. Keeping our foundation nice and strong and our hand active. Inhaling up, turning those back toes in, walking them in slightly, finding our pyramid, squaring off the hips, taking our gaze forward. Inhale, tall spine. Exhale, fold forward, hands on the mat or on our blocks that we brought with us to the other side. Making sure we're keeping our hips in alignment so that right hip is in alignment with the left hip. It's not moving forward. Our gaze is down towards our knee. Inhaling flat back all the way up. Walking the feet parallel, stepping the feet together, coming into the center of our mat. Setting the blocks off to the side. Inhaling the arms all the way up. Exhale, swan dive forward, forward fold. Inhale, flat back halfway. Exhale, hands down, step back. Plank pose. From here, taking a quick vinyasa, knees, chest, chin, or this is a half chaturanga, so bending the elbows, keeping our spine nice and straight. Releasing the toes. Inhale up to cobra or all the way up to up dog. Yogi's choice. Exhale. Release down, curl the toes under, press back, downward facing dog. And then from here, we're going to bend our knees and we're going to come to sit on the mat. Soles of the feet together in a nice Baddha Konasana. We're going to do two of these. This first one we're going to be relatively close. We're going to have those heels close to our groin. I'm going to turn towards you so that you can see that from a different angle. So our knees are really close to the ground, sitting bones are square on the ground. If this is too close and too painful, feel free to move your feet out a little bit, but we stretch different muscles with the placement of the feet. And we're going to use this first one to lean forward and stretch out our glutes in the back. The back of the thighs, the back of the leg. Inhaling up. Legs out long. Inhale the arms up tall. Exhale, forward fold, grabbing onto our feet or taking a strap or something we can use as a strap, wrapping around the balls of our feet. This helps keep them nice and active. Inhale tall, exhale fold, pulling the elbows towards our side. Or even just setting your hands on the mat or on your knee next to you. Right now we're just trying to get a stretch in the back. It's not about grabbing your toes. Inhaling the arms up tall, exhaling the hands down to our side, soles of the feet back together. And this time for Baddha Konasana or bound cobbler, we're going to have a larger distance between our groin and our heels, so bringing the feet out farther in front of us. Exhale, fold forward, gently pressing your elbows on your knees. This is going to open up your inner thighs. Still using our Ujjayi breath. Our mouth is closed. We're breathing in and out through our nose. And inhaling up, tall spine. Placing the hands slightly behind you. And we're going to walk back into a Supta Baddha Konasana. So keeping our legs in our bound cobbler. Coming onto our back, lifting our spine just to get our lower back onto the mat. Hands out to the side. Just allowing the knees to just gently open up. Inhale, closing the knees, soles of the feet on the ground, drawing the knees into our chest, head to our knees. Bring our arms out to the side, inhale here. On our exhalation, lowering the knees to the right as we turn our head to the left, stretching out our back. Inhaling to center. Exhale, switching sides, lowering the knees. Inhaling the knees to center. Knees into our chest, just gently rocking, getting that lower back on the mat, then extending the right leg and left, making our way into Shavasana. Hands on the mat, palms facing up, and just relaxing, sinking into the mat, allowing our eyes to soften and our mouth to open. And any stress that you find in your body, just allowing it to let go. Our breath going back to its natural cadence. And if you want a longer Shavasana, feel free to pause the video. And if not, we're going to start rotating our wrists one way and the other, wiggling the fingers and the toes. Inhaling the arms above our head, full body stretch from fingertips to toes. Releasing the hands down, drawing the knees into our chest. And then slowly making our way out to our side into a fetal position. Placing our head on our arm. And then slowly making our way up into a seated position. Bringing our hands together at our heart, taking a moment to remember the intention or all of our affirmations we said at the beginning of this. Thanking yourself for taking this time for yourself, just to stretch and to breathe. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. I hope to have more of these up soon. If you have any requests, please send me a message.